Well, hello students, welcome to another lesson using Autodesk Inventor Professional 2022. In this project, it's called the Bottle Project. You're to make an imaginary product that has a fluid inside of it. And it can be a cream, it can be an energy drink, it could be vitamin water, it could be a salve, it could be an ointment, it could be a fragrance. You decide what the product is, you create the label, you calculate the circumference, make your label the appropriate size, and without further ado, let's begin. I've already navigated to the Cameo landing page, and I'm selecting in Autodesk Inventor. Preparing, connecting. Now that you've arrived at the Start Working button, select, and when it exposes this interior window, go to the right and just close that little window, and then start with a new standard IPT, create. Now, for the purposes of this video, I already know my label is 7.75 inches wide and 4 inches high. So the circumference of my bottle was 7.85, and that means the radius was 1.25. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch, click on the XY plane, and I'm using this line tool to go from the center origin to the right and type in 1.25. That's the bottom of my bottle. 1.25 inches. And then I do hit escape, use the pan tool to bring it down and left. And I'm going to use a line up the y-axis 8 inches high to show me that's how high my bottle is, about 8 inches. So I type 8, enter, and then I hit escape yet again. And then on the side of my bottle here, I'm going to just move up a little bit, hit escape, maybe use an arc to give it a bit of a squeeze feature, and then I'm going to go up 4 inches. That's where I'm going to place my label, and I'm going to make this line of exactly 4. So as I go up, I hit 4 and then enter, and then that frees me to use arc again to create a designer feature. And this is a nose cream. Fun things to do. You can add little details like this. You decide. And this can give the bottle strength. And also, in my case, since it's a ointment, I'm going to go Control Z and take this line out. I have more of a squeeze tippy top here, like a toothpaste. And then I'm going to put a little rounded feature here. And then once again, use line segments and arches to line the inner side of your profile. And I guess in this case, I'm just going to go down to here. You can see how I do it. Hit escape every time you want to change tools. Then I'm going to put an arc in here. And then I'm going to return to the line tool. It's kind of fun making the profile. You're trying to mimic the outer portion with your lines again. And I'm going to use an arc here. Again, I'm just creating a thin film of plastic. Maybe go down and then go to the left until I get to my axis. Now I'm going to revolve this, finish sketch, revolve, and if you've done your profile right, it will turn blue, and then you're going to click your axis line, click, and it should revolve around, and click OK. You want it straight in the front view. Click the plane tool, click the XY plane, grab the little handle, click and push, and then you want to turn it 90 degrees. Like I've just used the cube, the rotational cube, and I'm going to pull this over so that the plane is to the left or to the right of my bottle, and then click the check mark. And then I'm going to return to the front view and say there I have a plane where I can apply my decal. To apply the decal, you select Start a 2D sketch, click on the perimeter line of this plane, click, and that will activate it. Again, you can use the middle mouse wheel as the pan tool. And once you've activated this plane, you can select image, and then you're going to use this pop-up window where it says up one level. It's a folder with a green arrow. You're going to go up several levels until you find remote user, and then you double click, boom, boom, and then double click on G drive, boom, boom, and then you should have made a bottle folder, boom, boom, and then you're going to find your label that you've created, boom, and then open. And there it is. And notice how, if I've correctly calculated, it appears that the line segment that I made, which was 4 inches, and the height of my label, which was 4 inches, click, coincide with one another. And a design feature I wanted to tell you about was to make sure your image and your name, the name of your bottle, is centrally located on this label. So you position it. In some cases, you might stretch it and change the size, but I'm going to go Control Z. I happen to know that this is going to wrap almost all the way around my bottle. So I'm just going to click the Finish Sketch. Once I place my label face on, click Finish Sketch, and then you'll see this word button decal is activated. Click the decal button. At this point, you'll just click your label and then click a second time where it will be applied to the face. Click, and then you want to select Wrap to Face. Click and OK. And there you can also right click on the plane, right on this perimeter line, right click and turn visibility off. And you have a nice bottle. As you can see, it's almost completely perfectly wrapped around. And you can see quite nicely what it is, nasal cream, because I centrally located it. And now I'm going to go to the view and change my view to perspective by clicking under orthographic. There's perspective, and then select the visual style, realistic. Oops, it doesn't look like I've applied. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this list somewhere I did not just apply the indoor pool. Click. There we go. And now I'm going to use ray tracing to see what happens. Realistic ray tracing, and we'll find out what it looks like at the end. Ooh, it's very interesting. It's a bottle. And as you can see, it's got that designer look to it. You can just also select all shadows, ground shadows, reflections, add those reflections. You can play with these materials too. I mean, here's your default environment, but you can always just put it in a, maybe you'll use soft light, see what happens. It's going to ray trace it again. It gives you some extra shadows there. It's kind of nice for the image, extra level. Once it renders, you'll note down here, I always keep ray tracing level at low, and it takes some time to ray trace. Let it fully ray trace. Now that my ray tracing is complete, I can use the print screen. That would be Control Shift and the camera button for you. And I'm going to crop it down. Now this is the image you're going to want to turn in for assignment credit. However, I want you to save this file and turn in the IPT save as. Call it your bottle final. Make sure that you go to the right folder. So you want to navigate up, up, up till you see remote user, double click G drive, find your bottle folder, double click, make sure you name it bottle final IPT. Save. I hope this video helped. Good luck.